What's going on, everybody? Here we go, another quick pickup video. Punchout, Nintendo, 1984. I put a want to buy out on Facebook, and I had a gentleman that lives in California contact me and said he had this in storage. So I was like, hey, I'll come get it. And that was about it. He sent me some photos, and it looked good. It's just your typical, chipped off T-molding that you'd see in a Nintendo cab of this age. A little bit of chipping on the front, but it looks great. Here's the side. I cleaned up the side a little bit. The side art here is intact. The base is intact, at least. Here's the rough side. Some scratches down here. Hopefully I'm looking, maybe I can clean all that up. Side art missing. The base is intact. Just need to clean it up, paint it. Yeah, you can see all the scratches. Little bit of chunkiness going on there. So I'll take some wood hardener, some wood glue, take care of that. Back corner. So this thing is tall. I didn't realize how tall this thing was. It's like 6 feet tall, the dual monitor. Here's the control panel. One little scuff there. So we basically hauled this down flat at, in the elevator. I told the guy I'll buy this whether it's working or not. So of course he wanted to plug it in since it hasn't been plugged in a couple years. So I don't blame him, hey, I want top dollar for this thing. So we drug it downstairs and plugged it in, and it was just white monitors. So it didn't work. So and I'll say, I know Coin Op Warehouse sold one last week for 1,100 bucks, not working. So I saw that ad and I just told the guy, look, I'll throw you 1,000 bucks. And he was like, all right, since it doesn't work, I was hoping to get more, but he's a real nice guy. So he threw this to me for a G, which I think is fair. And it didn't power up. It just had white screen. So, and basically what I was looking at when I got this, you see a new Hap Vision Pro monitor, there was a power supply, a computer power supply in this thing. Yeah, they even soldered on the AC lines to the back of this thing. So I was pretty, once I opened it up, I was like, damage. And it has a repro back door, like a cut back door. So I'll paint that. But the main thing was I was like, what's going on with this thing? This thing was hacked. It was hacked up. Once I turned the game on, plug in the AC with the power, the marquee light turns on and stays on. So somebody took the wire down here and hacked it into the AC line instead of where it's supposed to be, is here. So that's the lower monitor, marquee light, and I guess this is the bottom monitor. So this power supply was dead. I tested it, and I really wasn't sure what was going on. And they basically there was a red and a black wire that were running off that power supply, and it ran up to here. And I'm not really familiar with the Nintendo monitors, or actually Nintendo games, excuse me. So you had 4 wires here, white, black, blue, purple, and then another 7 wires here. So I wasn't sure which one was 5 volts and which one was ground. I wasn't sure if this is 12 volts or ground. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, because they cut the original power supply out of it. So as you can see, getting with these games, it's really, really, really annoying. So, and I'm not really too good with electrical at all. So I talked with my buddy Tim, that guy Tim. Check out his YouTube channel. He said, just refer to the schematics. So that's what I did. Went and pulled up the schematics and found that you have the 12 pin and the 9 pin, and this bundle here is split between the two, and these are all ground. So that's ground, and all these 4 wires that were split between these is 5 volts. So you never want to hook up a board without knowing the voltage. So I had everything unplugged. I had this unplugged, I had the monitors unplugged. I didn't want to mess with it. I just knew that I had a power issue. So I had a HAP, as you can see, a HAP Vision Pro, not a HAP Vision, but a HAP Pro fucking power supply, excuse my language. And I just cut the wires to the AC that were soldered in, and then I traced the wires back once I figured out which was 5 volt and ground, this janky wire. I'm gonna clean all this up. This doesn't sit well with me, this duct tape and whatnot. It's duct taped in here. Like, that's just crazy talk. I don't know who did what, but that's silly. So anyways, once I did that, I was on the phone with my boy Heath from Louisville. Shout out to Louisville Pinball Repair. If you're down in the South, look him up. And I was like, hey, he was like, hey, plug it all in, let's go. So once I verified all my voltages coming out of that board, it was at 5.03. I turned it up to 5.07 and plugged it in, decided to go for it. So it's actually on now. And I'm gonna cut this video here and I'll go ahead and fade in to what we got. All right, this is what we're working with. It's actually working. Monitor's a little, I turned the brightness down on the monitor a little bit. Seems like I'm missing the green on here. But I want to give a shout out to my buddy Heath at Louisville Pinball Repair, who was on the phone with me and walked me through hooking this thing up. So if you're in Louisville, Kentucky, hit them up. But everything's working, sound, whatnot. But this bottom monitor seems like it's missing the green. So he's supposed to be green, but he's black. It's missing, it looks like maybe a timer here. I'm not sure, but all the colors are there. The top monitor, I know this looks terrible. I mean, maybe these need a cap. They probably need a cap kit. This still is a lot more green than the bottom, but I adjusted the focus and the flyback, the brightness. So that's about as good as I can get it. It's just not bright and crisp. So probably send these out to Henry at Sharp Image Repair here in Las Vegas. So if you need any work done on your monitors, you can send your chassis to him. But I'm just glad, you know, I was up at 4 in the morning, drove to California with my buddy Joel. Thanks, Joel. We threw it in the back of his Suburban, and which this thing's tall, wouldn't have fit in my 4Runner at all. So thank him for hooking me up, taking the day off, and I'm just glad I got this at least working. So that'll be the first step, and that is about it. That's part 1. We'll call this part 1 punch out pickup. I'll pull these monitors out, probably send them in to get worked on, do the cosmetics, T-molding, whatnot. The controls feel fine. I probably need to, you know, just pull everything out and clean them up, but I pulled the control panel off already. Everything looks good. They're not all rusted out like in my Donkey Kong. So that's about it. Thanks for watching, and look forward to next time. Later.